What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility, and where I see things going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that said, let's get right to it. So on Friday, Lucid did go down 0.4%. So over the last couple of days, when there's been a hell of a lot of fear in the broader market, Lucid's actually fared rather well, and in some cases better than Tesla, Rivian, and a lot of the other EVs. So that is something to keep in mind going into next week, that Lucid has had this sense of buying ever since they did come out with their Q1 production and delivery numbers. I know it's not really that high as far as meeting some people's expectations, but this is a very big accomplishment, the fact that they actually did deliver more vehicles than they produced. So again, glass half full kind of scenario. This upcoming week though, there's going to be a lot of volatility. So first and foremost, there's that whole situation between Iran and also Israel that no doubtably will cause a lot of volatility. But even just looking at some of the data points, you have retail sales coming out on Monday, but a lot of Fed speakers throughout the week. And you can kind of see that right here. So starting off on Monday and then Tuesday, so a lot of different key points and very touchy subjects as well that no doubtably will cause a hell of a lot of volatility. So let me know your thoughts on that. Almost every single day there's at least two Fed speakers. So again, something to kind of consider, that at least in the past that has caused a lot of volatility. Going into this upcoming week, the fear and greed index is at 46. So people's appetite for risk isn't necessarily there. So they're going to be looking for more value plays. And this is where I guess in essence, Lucid could be seen as a value play. But of course, that's just in relation to how much has gone down compared to other EVs and other things like that. Companies unveiling their earnings this week, a lot of key ones. So a lot of banks, Netflix. So dependent on those earnings, that could again really escalate the downtrend or potentially save it. In the past, Netflix and their earnings has saved the market from a kind of vicious downtrend. So I think a lot of people will be really looking at Netflix very, very closely and their future guidance. As far as specific stuff for Lucid, there isn't any events coming up this week that's going to obviously help or anything like that. Like I've had difficulty in the past, I'm not really sure. It doesn't show any upcoming events for this week, so it could just be maybe I don't know. I've shown you guys this in the past. Click on events and it just does not show any upcoming events right here. Whereas if they post it on social media, for instance, that website seems to be somewhat different. I'm not really sure. So let me know your thoughts on that. Aside from that, the only thing that really came out, there hasn't been any official news or any SEC filings, but there was this that came out a couple days back. So it just shows Derek Jenkins talking on, I guess, the just textiles of the inside the vehicle. And I think that this is good. They should do a lot more of this. And if anything, they should be doing it more on the gravity rather than the airs. But that's, I think, just more of a good marketing aspect just to kind of get more and more hype for the gravity. But then again, what do I know, right? I'm not a financial advisor. On Friday, shorts did increase, probably associated to the whole Iran-Israel scenario. So we'll just have to wait and see what shorts do on Monday. But as I've said over the last couple of videos, there has been new 52-week lows being created for Lucid and also 52-week and all-time highs being created for short interest. Going into this upcoming week, 31.78% of the free float is being shorted. Utilization is 100%. Short score is 92.61%. And a grand total of 281.47 million shares overall are being shorted. And that is a grand total of about $701 million. So pretty significant if you ask me. Cost of borrow average is 38.28%. Like I've said in the past, definitely looking at the fundamentals, Lucid is a squeeze play. The only thing it really needs is a surprise catalyst. Of course, you also need more of a bullish market as well to kind of push it higher in people's appetite for risk, which right now isn't necessarily there. But who knows, if things stay the status quo with this information right here, maybe with their Q1 earnings, things might look a little bit better, but still anticipate shorts to most likely kind of be doubling down, especially piggybacking off of the fear for this week. Looking at options, so with the open interest and it closing at $2.49, so right below that 250 mark, so most likely that was done on purpose, so that way these 2,000 in open interest isn't going to get exercised, even though 2,000 isn't all that much. This is probably why shorts did increase a small amount near the tail end, just to bring it right below that 250 mark. So going into this upcoming week, absolutely nothing is going to be exercised, so no bump up in the stock price or anything like that. You do see some pretty strong walls at that $3 mark, 350, and then 4. So you are going to see a lot of manipulation. So just market makers not wanting Lucid to be above that $3 mark. So given everything that I just mentioned, it's going to be a crazy roller coaster. So if you're looking at trading Lucid or wanting to buy maybe at kind of the next strong support, just take note of this. So right now, $2.43 was the saving grace for Lucid on Friday. So it bounced off of that, I believe, twice. So we do know that's a good thing. It did, although, make a new 52-week and all-time low of $2.42, but still, like I said, it bounced off of that. With all the fear, it might be retested again on Monday. Hopefully it does hold. If it does break below that, then anticipate it to trade between this S3 and this S2. So 211 is going to be the next strong support. And then 243 is going to be that key pivot. Aside from that, let's say Lucid does put out a good piece of news, or let's say the market gets bought up very fast for maybe some external factor that hasn't been known yet, then 264 and then 296 are going to be the next strong resistance points. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Right now on the actual chart, things seem to be somewhat of an overkill. So even though Lucid has gone down quite a lot, it has been faring a little bit better than some of the other EVs. So that again could maybe be appealing to some larger entities out there, even though they haven't really been getting into Lucid all that much. But it is lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. Looking at stochastic, you do see a bearish deviation, so red line above the white, but it is at roughly about 6. So that is just crazy oversold. So again, if there's a good piece of news, then you are going to see a rush of value investors, similar to what has happened in the past. But number of retail investors have been getting in on Friday. So that was more of a nice positive change. So it kind of shows that at this price, or roughly around these prices, retail sees a lot of upside, which, as I've said in the past, a lot of my videos I do bring up are just more short-term aspects. What is happening this week? What's going to be happening in the next month or so? If you do have a long-term time horizon, then yeah, take advantage of these discounted prices, because by 2026, 2027, or even more so by 2030, Lucid is going to be hopefully flourishing, producing like 500,000 vehicles every single year. So bigger and better things will be coming down the pipeline. Just right now, we are in more of a painful scenario within the broader market, just higher interest rates still. So I think Lucid also definitely does need interest rates to be cut in order for them to really kind of push higher and flourish and get back into the $5 range, $6 range, and so forth. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Given all the circumstances and everything that I did mention, where do you see things going? Do you think it's going to be hitting this mark right here, so kind of the low 2s, or do you think that this S2 is going to hold and is going to bounce into kind of the S1? In my opinion, like I said on Monday, I feel like this is going to be touch this S2, but it is probably going to hold. And then depending on what does come from the Fed speeches on Tuesday, because that's monetary policy and just larger economic kind of outlooks, that probably will be that deciding factor whether this does hold or not. And so in my opinion, I feel like the broader market and the Feds are going to be very cautious about what they say. So I feel like right now, hopefully that should hold, but in reality, it probably will trade between this S3 and this S2. Given everything in the market and what Lucid is actually doing, I don't see this being broken anytime soon. So hopefully their earnings will be that X catalyst, causing it to get back into the $3 range. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the 𝗪𝗧, so $35 total value. So pretty good return on investment for just throwing $100 at a new account. Take advantage of this, link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.